So, good evening, children, and now let us try to see. We are talking about light. So, are you all ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically, what happens, and we have studied light in standard 7, 8, 9. On 9th, most probably we did not have light, but 7 and 8 we studied light. So, it is good to go back a little bit to recall what we have studied and know a little bit of basics of light. So, here we start now. First thing is that when we think about light, right from our childhood, we have understood that at night when we switch off all the lights, then what will happen? We are not able to see anything. So light is a physical agent which gives the sense of sight. That is the first thing we have to know. And there is a mystery behind light and the use of light and eyes of different animals and the way animals perceive things. Suppose an animal is not able to see things, then it must be having some other techniques like you heard bats. Like bats, they don't have good sight, so they can manage their life with reflection of sound, etc., and echoes. So we move to the topic now. When we talk about scientific term, then light has got physical nature, it has got wave nature, as well as it has got particle nature. Our discussions in 10th will be more limited to the wave nature of light and ray diagrams, etc. of light. So first let me clear up light. What is a wave? You have to understand, in 8th you studied about sound, and in 9th, so sound is a wave. So what is a wave? Wave is a disturbance which is caused due to vibration of particles. So suppose I am talking, I am telling hello Akansha. So what will happen? I am disturbing the particles of air, and the particles are vibrating and they are traveling. So when the particles are vibrating, but this particle actually stays here and it pushes its vibration to the other particle. Very nice. And then what happens? The wave reaches to your ears. So there are two things here, the motion of the particle and the wave. So if the direction of motion of particle and the wave are same, if the direction of motion of particle and direction of wave is same, then such type of wave is called longitudinal wave, which is the sound wave. Sound wave is a longitudinal wave. As well as you must be knowing this, that sound, we cannot hear sound in vacuum, because sound waves cannot travel in vacuum. So those waves which cannot travel in vacuum are called elastic wave. So if I complete sound in terms of wave defining, then sound is elastic wave because it cannot travel in vacuum and it needs material medium to travel. And secondly, sound is a longitudinal wave because when sound waves are produced, the waves moves in the same direction as the vibration of the particles. Now, just the reverse of this is that light waves can travel in vacuum also. They do not need any material medium to travel. They can travel in material medium also, but they can travel in vacuum also. And those waves which can travel in vacuum also are called electromagnetic wave. The term also is given because light, when it originates from a source, there are electrical field and magnetic field created in which photon particles travel with their wave property. So light is an electromagnetic wave. And also the traveling of the motion of the particle is up and down, while the wave will move straight. So that here also the direction of motion of particle and the wave direction is involved, and they are at right angles to each other, and such waves are called transverse waves. So light waves are transverse wave. That is very, very important for you to understand. So let me take this help of my ruler. Light is the physical agent which gives us the sense of sight. It has dual nature, wave nature as well as particle nature. Light wave, if I complete in terms of wave, so electromagnetic wave and transverse wave, sound, elastic wave and longitudinal wave. Akansha, nicely please read this. Stand up and read. Okay, yes, good.
Light is the physical agent which helps in the sense of sight.
Okay, which gives us the sense of sight. Very good, Sachin. Loudly, can you tell?
It has dual nature, wave nature as well as particle nature.
Very good, very nice. So you have understood that. So now we come to this part like when we draw diagrams related to light, then a single line is a ray of light. See, when you are watching me, there are millions of rays coming out of me and reaching your eyes, Akansha. Sachin, millions of rays coming out from me and reaching your eyes. So just we cannot draw the whole diagram, all the rays. So we pick up one or two rays and try to show the different incidents of light. So we draw ray on our copies or in a 2D way. This is a ray of light. Now if there are many rays, then it is beam of light we show. This is convergent beam and this is divergent beam. Convergent beam means many light rays coming at a point. I don't know how do you play, but if you'll take a convex lens and go in the sun, and you can just keep it in such a way that the sunlight is coming through the lens, and then you can nicely focus the rays passing and going after the lens. When they pass through the lens, then you can make them converge at a point, and very quickly you can make fire. So light, when a lot of light rays come together, they form a convergent beam. But you see an electrical source, say for example a bulb or a point light source, many light rays are coming, then they form the divergent beam. All right. So let us now try to also categorize what we are going to study in the first chapter. In the first chapter we will be studying reflection, and that also in two parts. So first of the thing is, what is reflection? Reflection is simply, see, light falls over here, and then what happens, it bounces back, it goes back. I will ask Sachin to put out on one of the lights from that side, and you see its reflection over here, and then an image will be formed here and the board will shine. Yes. So see, here there is the, I think so you will be able to see the reflections coming. So these images on this board, it is forming image due to reflection. So reflection is thank you Sachin. So reflection is bouncing back of the light. Reflection is bouncing back of the light. Okay. So now this is a mirror, a plane mirror. Just you can see, might be I'm able to let you see. If you nicely see, you will be able to see even the image of, you want to see the student sitting, then you will be able to see the student sitting at the back. So what will be happening, that the mirrors form images due to reflection. So I just take a 1D figure over here. I make the mirror like this and put some some marks, so that this becomes a polished surface, and the plain one is the reflecting surface. So light comes over here and light bounces back. So bouncing back of light in the same medium is called reflection. Obviously you had studied reflection in 8th, that this is the incident ray, reflected ray, and a normal at the point of incidence, and there were laws of reflection. I'll remind you that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. We used to call it angle I and angle R. Angle I and angle R. So the first law of reflection was angle I is equal to angle R. So that was very important concept which we studied in reflection. Alright, that is laws of reflection. And then secondly, we studied that all this incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal at the point of incidence, they all lie in the same plane. So that is what we studied. Now next we will be coming to reflection. We will be studying plane mirrors in short, and we will be studying spherical mirror very elaborate. So spherical mirrors are part of spheres, Spherical mirrors are part of sphere, Imagine a hollow glass sphere. You cut out a part of it, and then you will get reflecting surface. Sachin will pass me that plate. I can very easily then explain you what is a concave mirror and the convex mirror. So plane mirrors, their reflecting surface is plane, and the convex mirror, you can see this. So convex mirror means what will happen, the reflecting surface, it will be curved, the reflecting surface will be bulging out. So that will be convex mirror. You can use any plate at home, good steel plate, and you can see a convex mirror. Alright, and if you just turn it so that the cave part, this part, when the cave part is inside, so that yeah, very good, the reflecting surface, if it is inside, we call it cave jaisa, gufa jaisa. It's like a cave. Similar to the cave. So the reflecting surface is, if it is inside, then it is called concave mirror. So this is the first part, basic understanding of light, and what we are going to study, as well as some questions from here also come. Secondly, I talked about medium. Light will travel in vacuum also, and light will travel in certain medium like glass, etc. Now light travels with the light travel fastest in vacuum. Its speed, we call it in c. C is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Just imagine, light travels so fast that in 1 second it covers 3 lakh kilometers. So just zoom, and it does 2 circles of Earth and comes back. So light probably is the fastest traveling entity till now known to human beings. Then when we come down to, say for example, glass, light will be little slower, but little slower does not mean that it will be in lakhs. 2.25 lakh kilometers per second. That will be the speed of light. Once again, I correct myself. 2.25 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second in certain mediums light travel. Now I am just giving a comparison. Light will travel the fastest in air, in vacuum 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. In glass little slower, in diamond still slower. So now optical medium, the rarest medium is vacuum. Rarer optical medium are those mediums, Sachin, in which light will travel the comparatively faster, and denser will be those medium, Akanksha, in which light will travel little slower. Like when you compare glass and diamond, diamond is denser, very good, and glass is rarer. But when you compare vacuum and glass, then glass becomes denser and vacuum becomes rarer. So it is a comparative term. Very good, well done, well attended children. Thank you.